Hey everyone, it's Maureen. I'm here today to show you a different kind of storage box for your sewing items. This specifically is a accordion style, kind of like the precursor to a caboodle if you want to think about it. I know here's sort of a 90s reference. They had those tiered storage boxes that were normally made out of bright colored plastics in the early 90s called caboodles. And in this case, this is sort of the precursor to that because everything comes around again, as you know. So what this is it's made out of wood. It has those tiered type of functionality that you see on the side here. And a lot of these are advertised in antique stores as sewing boxes. There's a few other types. There's the Martha Washington style one, which has sort of deep sides that you could, shove a small embroidery piece if it was on a hoop. And then it has like 3 or 4 drawers in the front. It's normally made of dark wood and it's freestanding, so it normally is like about 3 foot tall. It's a specific piece of furniture for sewing items. And you're going to run into this a lot, where you're going to run into items that are specifically purposed for sewing items. So what we have here is our wonderful storage box. Some of the items in here you may have seen before that I have done on some thrift hauls. So these are the small, this is instructions for Lucid, but these are some of the small spools that I have that are silk for embroidery and sewing. And on the other side here are some of my White Wolf and Phoenix related threads. I'm part of their Silk of the Month club, and I really greatly enjoy their beautiful threads and supplies. So I buy from them whenever I can, especially during the pandemic. We have some finished and in progress items here. This one seems to have stuffing. This one I'm going to probably stuff full of lavender and make it into a sachet. It's pretty much done. It just needs the stuffing and sewn shut. So that's the first layer. And then you open it up into the second layer. Recently, I have procured a whole bunch of ribbon embroidery threads, organza and silk. And I found a whole bunch of these. They're called Pure Silk by Busila for ribbon embroidery. It gives you about 3 yards of each color. They had all the colors, so I bought them all. But these were at a second-hand antique shop sort of situation. So because of that, I got them a lot cheaper than I would have online. So save a buck when you can. So besides those ribbon embroideries, I have some trims over here that I had bought over time, also from White Wolf and Phoenix, because they sell trims. So I have theirs over here. I have some twill tape in here, and some lace is also in this side. Good enough for doll lace. And in the bottom, I happen to have a bit more silk. There's a linen piece of embroidery, which I know I had shown on a different video. Some more trim. Some other twill tape that I couldn't fit over here is over there. So this is actually the second of these boxes that I purchased. I found this one. It was sitting at the thrift shop, well, antique shop, for a long time actually. And I mulled about it, and I'm thinking, fine, I will buy it since it doesn't seem to have a home. Most of them will have some form of a system to pull the drawers back and forth. This is the original one that I actually had purchased many, many years ago when I first started sewing. Now this one seems to be lovingly modified, possibly by its original maker. It has drawer pulls on the sides, And drawer pulls on the top. It's fantastic. Plus, I like that they had this wonderful little handle. So that's actually one of the things I've noticed with this accordion style sewing box. It can have legs that are attached to this to make it about 3 feet tall or so. So it could be a freestanding item if you so chose. Some of the ones I've seen advertised have legs, other ones don't. I like that this one doesn't. It just has little feet that were put on the bottom here. So I could put it on a shelf in that case. So with this one, I have various different things over the years. I mean, we've got needles and pins and little knives and all sorts of stuff in the top. I think this is liquid leaf paint. I mean, just about anything sort of ends up in here. There's some corks. This side happens to have, there's some threads in here. Piece of leather. There's some pins in here. These are actually little nails. And soap, which you can also use as a marking item. If you didn't have chalk, you can use soap. But, you know, yet again, very sparingly. But because of these wonderful knobs on the side, I can actually pull it apart pretty easily. It's much easier to open. So I have some ribbons over here. We have some hem tape. There's more pins over here. Looks like we have transfer patterns. I think I'm going to keep that out for later for some embroidery. Some of the White Wolf and Phoenix items I have used, I keep in a bag, so if I needed to look for a particular color or something, that I had them. Plus I have their business card, which is always a good idea. It's a good idea to keep track of what you have used if you're looking for a particular color, especially if you're in the middle of a project. There is a box cutter in here, some more pins, some more hem tape. So that's actually where a lot of my items end up going when you see these thrift haul situations. They tend to go into storage boxes. Let's see, so these are some silk threads over here. We have tablet weaving cards made out of playing cards. We have some ribbon, some wood shapes, a zipper, a pen, some pens. So it's quite wide when you open up all of the boxes there. It's quite extensive. I think there's more gold leaf paint over here. This is gold, that was silver. All sorts of crafty items, but I like that for the most part you can store whatever you need in an item like this within a certain amount of reason. Let's see here. This is a very nice piece. Ah, it's a shoelace. Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out what that loveliness was. If it was actually tablet woven or if it was something different. So I do keep shoelaces around just as basic laces for bodices and stays and things of that nature if need be. Just so you have something around. But yes, so that is, in essence, the accordion style sewing box. It's different features that it can have. This one I think is made out of cherry. This looks like it's made out of a hardwood. The other one in the back, I think that's made out of maple back there. So typically they're made out of a hardwood when you're finding the antique ones. Sometimes they'll be painted, sometimes they won't. It really depends on the journey that they have had up until you actually had purchased them. But besides the other sewing related notion boxes that I had showed before, I hadn't gotten an opportunity to show you what these were like. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, of course, leave them down in the comments. I upload every other Friday, and there's always crafty goodness going on here. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!